weeks ago, it was determined that in this particular election, soldiers should be deployed across the country in all the towns of Zambia. Now, do we have a security emergency in this country to warrant deployment of soldiers in many towns of Zambia? Remember, it's not the Kanyama incidents that has caused soldiers to be deployed. Soldiers deployed in Mweetwa 5 days ago. They are deploying in many parts of the country. We shall not question their operations because they have their own, modus operandi. They may have information which we do not have, but we are aware that they are deploying across the country. But the question is, in a democratic state like this, would indeed have been nice for us to know what the security challenge is in the country for soldiers to deploy? Because this is the first election where you are deploying soldiers. And who is fighting for soldiers to be called down? In 2019-2020, Zambia police, through the national budget, were allocated 11.1, if not 11.7 billion kwacha in acquisition of armaments, weaponry. You have seen the way Zambia police have armed themselves as if they are a paramilitary grouping that is confronting a dissident militia group in some part of Zambia, or we have security challenges along certain borders of Zambia, heavily armed to the teeth against citizens who are not even armed with stones, but are armed with the truth, telling a nation, telling a president, Mr. President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, you are a failure. Your leadership is anchored on a legacy of corruption, failure to create employment, issues to do with debt, political violence, political cadreism, failure to improve conditions of service, failure to pay retirees their money. These are the stones Zambians are carrying, truth in their mouth, and not stones or anything for Zambia police to arm themselves in the manner they have armed themselves. So coming to Kanyama, therefore, it is commendable that Zambia Army has deployed. But I can actually say that as a former senior police officer myself, Zambia police has capacity to deploy in Kanyama without bringing in Zambia Army. But we will not question security operations by security agencies because those are professionals. And I want to put it very clear. Pawuta. We, the UPND Alliance, have every confidence in Zambia Army because they have an enduring good and excellent reputation locally and internationally in terms of their professionalism. They have served this country very well. They have maintained the territorial integrity of this country and also stayed ready to defend Zambia from its local and international possible enemies, for which now there is none presently. They have gone to international duties such as the UN, missions in Sierra Leone, in the Central African Republic, in South Sudan. The reports we have gotten from the conduct of our men in uniform, Zambia Army, Zambia National Service, Zambia Police, is excellent. Wonderful professionalism. Some of our colleagues in uniform, unfortunately, have lost their lives trying to save humanity out there. We do not think that in this election, Zambia Army are deploying to intimidate voters. We do not think that Zambia Army can risk their good reputation because of a political party, because of a party that is quickly and has waned and lost popularity and confidence of the electorates, that they must go now on the streets and begin to intimidate, begin to disadvantage the voters. No. So, to the people out there, we want to urge them When you see Zambia Army deploy around the polling station, be happy that you are going to be safe, that no one is coming to tamper with your votes. That is what we need in this election. And therefore, we commend President Lungu for that. Let Zambia Army deploy en masse, especially in urban areas, because we don't want this political mediocrity and lunacy by Patriotic Front, where they send their cadres to go and begin to harass poll staff, begin to harass, bring chaos around polling stations. Zambia Army should be able to be there to guard the interests of the nation. That election, when properly guarded by Zambia Army, by Zambia Police, by all, will go down in history as an election with integrity, and we shall accept its outcome. And at this point, may I take the opportunity to state that for us as UPND, we have noted the suffering of our men in uniform, Zambia Army, ZNS, Zambia Police. When they deploy in UN peacekeeping missions, they get paid in dollars. Government shares that money. The Government Republic of Zambia shares a salary of a soldier, a salary of a police officer, a salary of a ZNS officer coming out of peacekeeping mission, 50-50, if not even more. We as UPND Alliance, once you allow HH, Nalumango, and team to take over the reins of this government, we are bringing that bad policy to an end. When as a soldier, as a police officer, you go to a peacekeeping mission, you get paid. Because you get paid, that's your salary. No one should ask you to share your salary with them, let alone a government. Begin to imagine those officers who lost their lives. Did these ministers or government officials also contribute to that life, that they also suffered an injury? Or what we call at law, persona injuria? Nothing. You go out there peacekeeping. If you die alone. If you get paid, you get paid alone. Therefore, no one should share your salary. I have been in parliament. They are members of parliament. They are ministers. They perform a lot of tours outside the country, these ministers. Sometimes the minister will be out of this country for 2 months. They get paid a lot of money in dollars. Have you ever heard government that Minister of Foreign Affairs, Malanji, I'll use Malanji because he's my brother. He's no longer going to be a Minister of Foreign Affairs, and HHH nominates him, but I don't want to talk about that because those have saved under this bad legacy of PF. Have you ever heard that Minister Malanji has been out for 2 months? He has gotten paid, say, $20,000. And the government of the Republic of Zambia is going to get $10,000 of the $20,000 that the minister or any member of parliament, including me, has been paid. But why should it be that when a civil servant, when a soldier, when a police officer goes to UN peacekeeping, when they get paid, government comes in to share? This is theft by daylight. This is theft of the grandest order. In fact, even a criminal who comes to steal from you in the night, you don't see them under the cover of darkness, is better than voting for people who say they want to come and look into your plight, then only to come and share your salary, but their salary, they keep it for themselves and their children. They send their children to schools abroad. So, those soldiers, let's do what is right. They must do. They ought to do what soldiers did in Malawi. They stood for country. They stood for what is right. I believe the soldiers for Zambia do not want to risk their integrity and reputation. Police officers, we are all suffering. We are not saying rise against the government of the day, rise against President Edgar Lungu. Far away from that. Zambia Army has been professional. We are all proud of them. Let them deploy in Kanyama. Let them deploy in Mukushi. Let them deploy in Chipata. Let them deploy in Mwinilunga. Let them deploy in Choma. The more the number of soldiers, it entails more security. People should go out and vote. Zambians must be able to stand up. No amount of intimidation should stop you from casting the vote correctly. Otherwise, if you get intimidated, you will still die out of hunger because of this PF administration.
This is a political program brought to you by the UPND. If you have any questions or contributions, feel free to call in 226-841-0978-895-895. The phone lines are open 226-841-0978-895-895. You raised so many issues to do with high cost of living, high unemployment, corruption, and of course political violence. As UPND, how do you intend to address these issues? Let's start with the issues to do with high cost of living.
Thank you very much. The issue with the rising and cost of living has to do with the economy, because it is the economy that prescribes the condition under which lives and commodity prices will be and must be determined. It is a state of the economy in a country. Where you have an economy where you are trading at 22 kwacha per dollar, where you have rising and sustainable debt, it means that this deploration, this loss of monetary value in the kwacha will translate in the rising cost of living. Presently, Zambians, especially civil servants, are getting paid around 4,000 or 5,000 kwacha. This is the amount they were getting paid in 2012 when we last had an increment. Even those in the informal sector, there is a law to do with minimum wage. Has government managed to go and supervise to ensure that if you're working for an industry, for a Chinese, for a Lebanese, for an Indian, for what?
Okay, just hold your thoughts. Let's pick up some calls since the phone is buzzing. All right, good morning. All right, you can try again, 226-841 and 0978-895-895. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mom. How are you?
Fine. This is Auntie Dorothy. Mweetwa.
Hello, good morning, Auntie Dorothy.
Yes, good morning, Honorable Kasauke.
Good morning. How are you, madam?
Thank you. Actually, I want you to speak about this message they are sending on phone. But it is not good Christian. We don't want it to be sent on our phone because us we are people. We don't want people to mistreat us. Coming to the topic, Honorable Mweetwa, you are speaking well and wise, sensible Zambians have suffered under this government. Right now it's come out. UPND are chased from the market. Others haven't been selling for 10 months. They are chased because of belonging to UPND. Then you call it that we are united? No. Presidents come, presidents go. This is not the end of life. Let good leadership come and make life better for Zambians. Honorable Mweetwa, I can tell you, majority, I don't want to be whatever, foreigners, the Chinese, they're selling retail like us Zambians. People are watching. I mean, saying things are better. I wonder how people think in their mind. Because me, I found myself at the market from the bank. I didn't come from the window where I'm just coming in the market to be getting money now. But we cannot allow such a thing. Honorable Mweetwa, what are you going to do to these people who come as their investors, but they are coming to sell as retailers? Tell me before I cut my vote of the top.
No.
Obama has been living for 65 years.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aunt Dorothy. I think he's heard the question. Let's accommodate other callers. Good morning. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Msonda. I'm calling you from within Musa.
Musonda, please go ahead.
Twamutende mukwa.
Mkwalibashani wa Msonda.
Tulifewino. Mweetwa nasafa okwipusha kwefe mukesa kitapali ifo bama business. Much more scale. Because what we have seen is that most of the businesses have been taken over by these people in government and their relatives. As a result, we are just languishing. For example, you go to the mines, you find that 95%, if not 98%, suppliers there are government officials, ministers, PS, and their relatives. And the other remaining maybe 1% or the other percentages goes to the Chinese. They bring their own containers. Even here in Lusaka, in the ministries where we used to supply things, no actions are sent. Musicians, so what are you going to do about that? Then the last question, either can you vote or not? Are you also going to behave like you are PF? Then later on, they brought them on board. Are you also going to do the same? If you do that, well, 2026, we'll still vote, we'll still know how to vote. Please answer me on those two questions.
Wamsonda, thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Mweetwa.
Wamwale, please go ahead.
Tulifewene walishani kuchingora.
Mweetwa kuno. Ono, chintu sana chondefo avyokumukoseresha kofe. Mwene walanda ichitapana hapa. So tulingire mwapota kosana mano. Nafuwe ni separi repo, tulipota kosana mano. So, voter protection wa Mweetwa, voter protection yena au mtupote kwa sana pia sana. Most especially when abantu like kama presiding officer wena abate wakuchetekera kurangira profit. So, chile sana abantu kusoma vote bakwate sana knowledge of mwivo pede. No chwale ipusha wala abantu for the help. You enter for ikelo. So, wakati knowledge how to vote. Thank you so
much, Mr. Mwale. Good morning.
Good morning, thank you. How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Tulifewene walishani ku basambwa
Timothy.
Atotera.
Mkwaye, ndebwanda ndipo ubuteko bwa PF na butukirwa. Ero buteko bwa PF wati mukusonta pa mitundu. Imitundu esho tulia. Ero imitundu ke problem to akwata Zambia. Ma problem to akwata Zambia number 1 ni nsala, number 2 lack of employment, number 3 lack of medication no hospital, number 4 lack of proper economy, etc., etc. So, we were mukukuru bafombe mushibira nsala ba TF. Sababu ino kuraranda pa mitundu no kuranda pali kateka wa mano akainde ichirema. Babuire bareranda pa problem do tule facing abantu akainde ichirema is not a problem umu ya facing. Beramulanda ko ero beraranda pa mitundu. Na ita kudi umukalambo wati mukuranda pa bya mitundu chimbaka mwiri. Konto kole mfura yo chimbaka mwiri wa irandira chi. Narangira mpefu nishinali tena. So kupena kove ukutwele tribalism. Konto kole kumfuira na tukishwa na upena chimbaka mwiri. So leko kulanda pa tribalism. Na ita kubekara chalo. Mwebekara chalo. Konto komuni. Ibukisheni kasini. Ibukisheni mitengo shati ngezo shiripari buru ushikuwa kuvota. Tule tukote mmanamba tubike baka inde ichilema achikuna akweba chikonjoloke baka inde ichilema bali tuweba ukweba nga bapita balina okubeera amafama fertilize ebitoofu panchi iri 6 na pamuru iri 6 so nga kukyaba ekyo kiri bwino ekintu kyonjo kyalabule akainde ekirema is the last hope for Zambia tapali oko twingaya ukwabula akainde ekirema so twikala mukupotera omutundu era twikalaloesha na pamenso twikalaloesha na pamashina nga mwamona byapali ukuboko pakisansa pakwanja Zambia forward owakutala kaimwena ewe tepikwanyishi ukuikala na PF for 5 years chimwati waikala musile vali because PF yali tufirwa pinche ya chitamuli 10 years ebyalaita ichikyapa chimona omuntu aupo omukashana uja aupo omukashana aikala ngo 10 years afiro kumufyalisha uja kyashiba mukashana bamwe bamupoke kwa chawo mulikena ara mufyalisha ifureba tuka mutumfyolo bapiye kubali firo fyala economy bapiye kubali firo kufyala imitengo eshachipa nombapa balero mbeko chero bara fyala teki bakyale because na maka ya fyala tabakwezera ndabwa bale kwazo kwezo takufunditisha uyo alewekera kona vuja alewekera kwisi kyawamoko kyabukuba so muwe kono kuwe bonzi mwe balimu.
All right, let's pick up another call, then you can respond. Good morning. All right, from those calls that have come through, quick response.
Well, thank you very much, and I would like to thank the callers for those insights. Clearly, the nation is pretty decided. I had indicated that myself and my brother, Honorable Kasauta, we're just winding up our trip from the Northern Circuit, where we went to, find out what is happening and pretty campaign in Central Province, in Mochinga, going up, Chinsali, Soka. I wish to report that the mood of the nation is very encouraging. The momentum for change is unstoppable. Zambians, when they want to change, they change. Whether you have more Chitenge material than the voters, because I'm told PF brought in 60 million pieces of Chitenge for 17 million voter, population of 9 million voters. That is why you find every street there is a Chitenge of Edgar flying. When you drive, every tree along the road is likely to have a Chitenge. They brought 60 million pieces of Chitenge. Why didn't they use that money to take medicines, to hospital? But that is that. But let me come to the issues now. Auntie Dorothy. And Dorothy has spoken about if you manage to run a market, kura alipire mitero kuri bakada. Nde minaya ba Auntie Dorothy kutira. Uteko kwa UPND Alliance nga wafika. Fionse fio fika pwa. Pantu ba HH na Lumango na ba KBF na ba Mutati bonse fi. Barefu ayo kutungulule chalo. Through rule of law. Epe, chapo. So if you bale michusha, ni if you ba Edgar baebere okutira. Ubomba muibara. Alia muibara. Ukutira. Na iwe mwine, wherever you are, do what you want on your own, without due regard to the law. This problem has gone too far. It has gone out of hand. This is one of the first things HH has promised to come and get, rid of. There was a question, I think, also from Auntie Dorothy or from another caller. Say, what are you going to do about Chinese who have come to take over the businesses that we Zambians are supposed to be engaged in, such as rearing and selling chickens, such as trading? I want to report that the UPND Alliance government is focused on something. We will encourage more Chinese, we will encourage more British, more American, more any other nation, citizens who want to invest in Zambia to bring in their capital. But when they bring their capital, number one, there must be Zambian shareholders in such capital companies. Number 2, that foreign direct investment must be targeted at industry creation, industrialization, not trading. We will not tolerate and appreciate someone who brings money to come and buy to jiri from one trader to another. That is an avenue and window for Zambians. Those who come from outside to invest in Zambia must be coming primarily for production and not trading. So, what you are saying about Chinese, and it's not just Chinese, there are other nationalities. We don't want to sound racist or anti foreigners. We want to direct them to invest where it matters. And on that score, allow me also to make this important note, which I think I have the opportunity so to do. We have seen in this country people who have been in Zambia, such as the Indians, the Indian community in Zambia. We also have the British and other entities in Zambia that were born in Zambia, have gone to school in Zambia, have grown up in Zambia. They have no citizenship. They are still treated as foreigners. Yet Chinese, upon arrival, 2 days later, they are given huge tracts of land because of corrupt dealings by this government. We want to assure the Indian community that under the leadership of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND Alliance, those who were born in Zambia in accordance with the law, Zambian by birth, Zambian by residence, Zambian by heritage, they will get their citizenship because they are Zambians. Now the world has become a global village. We now have a situation where under the Zambian constitution, there is dual citizenship. I can be a Zambian and an American at the same time. I can be a Zambian and a Malawian at the same time. I can be a Zambian and an Israeli at the same time. I can be a Zambian and an Iraqi of Afghanistan at the same time. So we want to promise the Indian community, once the UPND Alliance comes into office, those who deserve nationality or citizenship in accordance with the law, there should be no rigidity or problems. I have a huge chunk, if I were to speak now as a member of parliament for Choma that I have been, a huge chunk of white farmers in Choma who were born in Choma, they have grown up in Choma. The language they speak is Zambian. They don't have a green national registration card. They are not allowed to vote on account of that. Yet, all their activities are affected by the decisions that the Zambian government makes. The businesses they do are affected by the decisions that the Zambian government makes. Why shouldn't they have an opportunity to have a say in determining how they want to be governed? We are going to look into that and regularize, the same.
As you plan to wind up, because we are running out of time.
Yes, Bamsonda asked about a small scale. No, you can even add another hour. It's a political program, can pay, since we want to learn more from the callers. Bamsonda Vachiranda Popalima, small scale businesses, government workers, ministers, PSS, and their surrogates, relatives have taken over. This is very clear. Bamsonda. And mwe mubepushe ba GBM ati ba GBM imweli amali ba minister of defense. Kwali abachitire supply ama uniform soldier uniforms kuli ba ZDNS. Ni nani wachitire supply? Ero pamutengoshi. Mwe mubepushe ba GBM. Ndefo ya ba GBM basuke ilipusho. Pantu efire ngati umuntu afuma mu government afuma ku PF aya ku UPND. Lidaba mwibukisha ukutira iwe mwana ife wachitire. No. Sorry bakateka balungu. Nimwe bo balesa na Isa. Njerere niko. HH tete ateke. Ali kwa to mutimo ubisana. Ine na alibo mbana nkwe for 5 years na afumine mpofi. Takula ife na ngufimo ife na sangire muri HH. Tete ateke. Tali wino mutonga vyabo puba. Mwe mubepushe. Ali ama uniform ni nani wachitire supply pamutengoshi. Bakambwiri balandira okutira ine ifinafuma mu PF chakabwekereko bantu nga nabwekerako nishinali pena efe balaire efe abena Zambia nomba n'abawekera umulandu wakutira bali mukaliati ifituleranda bakambwiri. The problems he's going through at personal level, he should be understood. But there is one thing which the Zambians have to pay attention to. Bakambwiri barandira. Now that is the reason why Mr. Kambwiri, when he decided to go back to PF, he did not ask his colleagues as a party NDC, a faction of NDC, to say, let's go back to PF. He said, I have resigned from NDC, me alone. I'm going back to PF. And he went alone. Because at the back of his mind, he still knows that there is something better that this country needs to undergo, to have a good government through the UPND alliance. So instead of me disturbing the chances of the UPND alliance forming the next government, let me just go alone. So this is what is happening presently. But to answer Wamsonda, those issues of suppliers have to be left, contractors have to be left to Zambians. Let a foreigner bring their FDI, set up a company, set up an industry, and leave these accessories to Zambians for them also to have something to do, to their country, in terms of business participation. And we have also asked Bamsonda Kutira, are you going to behave like PF? Bamsonda, I can tell you here where I am. Because we are looking for votes. I can easily lie to you and to the nation to say, no, we will not behave like PF. That's cheap politics. Look at our track record as UPND. What do we stand for? We stand for consistency. That is why, even over Bill 10, when heaps and heaps of money were put before us, vehicles, go and choose a vehicle. We, as members of parliament of the UPND, with our alliance partners, we said no. We didn't come to parliament to get rich. We came to parliament to save a nation. We have been consistent. There are many issues where some political parties have gone the route of political appeasement just for a moment. Later on, it backfires. Over the Zambian constitution, for instance, which now is bringing a lot of chaos in terms of administration and governance of this country, we voted article by article against, because we said this is not a product of the will of the people, the sovereigns who create a government. This is a product of the Patriotic Front, and none of the members of parliament has been consulted. We were called all sorts of names. No, HH is bitter. HH he wants to go to state house at all costs. Look at where we are now. Bamsonda, we have been consistent. I want to let you know, and you have put a very good condition to say, depending on how you are going to answer this question, we'll decide to vote for you or not. But I think you already decided how you are going to vote. I want to let you know that in the Patriotic Front, not everyone is a bad person. Even if that has to cost us a vote from Bamsonda, but we have to stand for the truth. Not every leader in the Patriotic Front is bad. And I will justify this. Not everyone in PF is corrupt. It's just a clique. Not everyone in PF is promoting tribalism. Just a clique. Not everyone in PF is promoting cadarism. Just a clique. Not everyone in Patriotic Front want to see plunder of national resources, trade in Mukula, Kansensere gold mine, wastage of, not everyone. We have people right now in the Patriotic Front who mourn the way Patriotic Front is abusing their authority. And I also say now this today,
as we conclude,
not everyone wanted HH to be arrested. And ministers came to us and said, the scheme over this gassing is to have HH arrested so that he doesn't appear on the ballot. The scheme over the burning of City Market, Soweto, Sokone, is to create a state of emergency and align this so that HH is arrested, he doesn't appear on the ballot. They told us we shall put our foot down when we meet where we meet and tell them that if you want to arrest HH over this, which is innocent, count us out. For that reason, Bamsonda, we cannot count everyone in PF to say they are out, they cannot participate in the governance of the UPND alliance. No. A government must be by the people, of the people, by the people, for the people. including those who have been in Patriotic Front, including those who have been MMD, all those who are aligned with corruption and abuse of authority of office, they will not participate in the governance of the UPND alliance. But those who are genuine Zambia, why should we get people out of employment, out of a job, simply because they are affiliated with PF? It would be, I think it would be unfair. There would have been no need to change. Those who are clean, who participate in the like manner that HH has assured the nation that those who are retired in national interest, but they still have age and years and energy and effort to contribute to the building of a better Zambia, they will be recalled to their positions and if not promoted because of their sufferings. All Zambians must feel secure with the leadership of HS and the UPND alliance. We don't want to align certain individuals in Zambia that, no, these can't participate. The same way under the PF, they're saying, no, a government without leaving anyone behind. Meanwhile, they're excluding the majority of citizens. We want to be sincere. We don't want deception. When you want votes and you lie to a people so that you get voted, you know you're going to do something else. This is the reason why people are losing confidence in the Patriotic Front. They lied. More money, lower taxes, more money in people's pockets, more jobs. The contrary is the truth. Who has money today? Only a few cadres. Are there lower taxes? They've introduced more taxes, borrow tax. Look at the toll gates that they've built. National health insurance tax. There are more taxes. There is no money in people's pockets. There are no jobs. We don't want to go that route. We want the route where you tell people the truth. If they don't believe you and decide not to vote for you, so be it. Because the Bible says, say the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
Mr. Mweetwa, thanks so much for this has been the UPND program. This has been a political program brought to you by the UPND. Under 30 seconds, you want to conclude?
Yes, as I am concluding, we want to ask the Patriotic Front and President Edgar Chagwa to accept defeat and not jeopardize the transition that will be brought about through this election. And on that score, I challenge, we as UPND Alliance would like to challenge the Electoral Commission of Zambia to tell the nation why they have entered into a memorandum of understanding with the Local Government Service Commission, which is an arm of government, an executive. ECZ is also an arm of government. Why enter into an MOU to run this election when both of you are arms of government? It goes back to what we said last week, that PF wants to use the Ministry of Local Government through the Local Government Service Commission, using the Zambia, civil servants, Zambia local, something like Civil Servants Association, to recruit PF-aligned post staff. This should not be tolerated. We want the ECZ to tell us the rationale of entering into an MOU with the Local Government Service Commission. In our view, this is meant to legitimize the operations of this particular commission as they interfere with these elections. It won't work because Zambians want change, and many of these civil servants, generally Zambians, they want change. May God bless our great country. Thank you.